Hi, and welcome to our fifth tutorial, Emotions Everywhere. We'll be looking today at a little bit of revision on verbs, some emotive language, also pronouns. So a mixed bag of stuff, not too much because I think the next one is going to be one of those bumper ones. So welcome to you. Thank you for joining me again. And I see we're starting off today with the discussion of tone. The writer's attitude to the subject and the audience. So, some words describing tone. Calm, condescending, as though the person you're speaking to is a little bit below you and you're talking down to them, is being condescending. Cynical or suspicious. Detached, like you're not really involved. Dramatic. Earnest or serious. Excited. Impersonal, meaning impartial, not taking sides. Intimate, telling something secret possibly. Mocking, making fun of. Philosophical, thinking about abstract ideas. Sarcastic, being ironic in a nasty way. I think this is supposed to be saying savage or brutal, tearing something apart. Serious is like earnest. Solemn is also like serious. Caring tones, this is supposed to say. And this is supposed to say warm, tender, gentle, loving, motherly, generous, charitable, friendly, sympathetic, playful, lively, witty, endearing, which makes the reader like you. Charming, complimentary, paying compliments. Intense, like serious, but maybe a bit more. Ardent is keen and enthusiastic. Ebullient, meaning bubbly and enthusiastic. Ecstatic, really happy, elated, happy. Exhilarated, stimulated. Jubilant, in a celebratory mood. Passionate, feeling strong feelings. Flattering, benevolent or kind. And then some other tones, sentimental, sycophantic or sucking up, unctuous or oily, also perhaps sucking up, accusing, acid, which is critical in a nasty way, aggressive, angry, authoritative, bitter, cutting, caustic, also a bit like acid. Defiant, desperate, dismayed, distant, apologetic, eager, enigmatic or mysterious, facetious or witty, ferocious, genial or friendly, gentle, harsh, impatient, impertinent or rude, insipid, bland with no spice, ironic, saying the opposite of what you mean, nostalgic, looking back with feelings to the past, pedantic in a teachery way, querulous, grumpy. Sardonic is a bit like ironic, succinct, short and sweet, taunting, mocking, tentative, not final, still deciding, tolerant, vindictive, vivacious, full of life, wistful, longing. So some ideas about emotive language. Is the language subjective or objective? Is it very factual, or is it colored by a person's mind and their opinions and their beliefs? Is it factual or is it opinion? Is it strictly denotative? Is it just going by the meaning of words? Or are we dealing here with the connotations of words, the mental associations? Bias, is it impartial or is it biased towards one side or the other, or prejudiced towards one side or the other? Is it propaganda? Is it language that's intended to influence your beliefs? Is it sensationalism? Is it blown up to try and sell maybe copies of something or to make money? And back to our little bit of revision about verbs. We spoke earlier in previous tutorials about the subject and the verb. So today let's look at the object. So archaeologists excavated has the subject archaeologists. The verb excavated. What did they excavate? Ancient Troy. So that is the object of the verb excavated. So that's the subject. Who was doing the action? That was the action. And what did they excavate? Ancient Troy. That's the object of the verb. Who or what is being excavated? So let's see if we can find the object. The subject is Tiffany. The verb is fed. Who or what did she feed? Her cat. That's the object. Fred is the subject. Visited is the verb. Who or what did he visit? His uncle. That's the object. Jerry is the subject. Won is the verb. What did he win? The trophy. That's the object of the verb. The child is the subject. Followed is the verb. Who did he follow? His brother. That's the object. The man is the subject. Received is the verb. What did he receive? He received the money. The hunters is the subject. Saw is the verb. What did they see? Ominous clouds. That's the object. Tom is the subject. Dropped is the verb. What did he drop? His wallet. That's the object. The boys is the subject. Climbed is the verb. What did they climb? The mountain. That's the object. We've just been identifying the objects of the verb. Add an object to each of the following. I'm not going to type these in because there's so many possible things. I am reading a book. I'm reading the newspaper. Today we saw what in the sky? Fireworks, clouds, birds. The captain gave the sailor a bottle of rum. Please lend me your wallet, your bank card, your shorts. This shop sells medicine, cold drink, food. We've just added objects to those sentences. Back to the idea of emotions. Some more words about emotions. If you're agitated, you're a bit upset. If you're aggravated, you're irritated. If you're arrogant, what's another word for arrogant? You think you're better than others and you act as though you are. Aggressive is angry. Annoyed is cross. Antagonistic, it's a bit like cantankerous, in a fighting mood. And belligerent. If you're bigoted, you discriminate against others. If you're blunt, you put things too short and sweet. If you're callous, you're uncaring. If you're cranky, you're grumpy. If you're dogmatic, you believe there's only one way of doing things. Hostile, meaning really unfriendly. Inconsiderate, you don't care. Insensitive, you're not aware of the sensibilities of others. Malicious or nasty, there's obstinate again. Oppressive, you really putting other people in their place and ruling them with your thumb. Prejudiced, you've got one way of seeing things and you can only see them that way. Resentful, you're not happy about something that's happened and you're harboring a grudge. Rude, ruthless, you take care of something in a very short and sweet way without showing tenderness. Sadistic, you cause pain. Spiteful or nasty. Stern or strict. Vindictive, also nasty, wrathful, angry. Some more emotions. Anguished, awkward, agitated, apprehensive, baffled or confused, bewildered or confused, disgusted, displeased, dissatisfied with 2 S's, disturbed, doubtful, surely this should have said grief-stricken, helpless, hesitant, impatient, intimidated, jealous, jittery or nervous, lost, offended, panicky, perplexed or confused, restless, skeptical, suspicious, tormented, touchy, uneasy, unsure. Back to our parts of speech, we already looked at nouns and verbs. In this tutorial, we're looking at pronouns. A pronoun is a word that replaces a noun in a sentence. Its position in the sentence is therefore similar to that of nouns. He spoke, the he is before the verb. Kiss me, it's after the verb. Andrew waved at them after a preposition. So you can see prepositions, so words like he and me and them. And then these technical words for three persons of pronouns. So we call I and we the first person. Certain books, for example, novels, are written in the first person. They have an I who's telling the story. Second person pronouns are you, and there's only one there because in English, one person is you, and more than one person is also you. Standard English does not refer to yous and you all. It's you and you. Third person pronouns, he, she, it, and they. So first person is inside me, it's I. I'm speaking directly to a second person, and I call that person you. That's second person pronouns. Third person pronouns, I am speaking to you about them, about him. So first, second, and third person pronouns. So pronouns are words that stand in the place of nouns. They give us a shorter, simpler way to express ourselves. So it's words like I, you, he, she, it, we, they, me, you, him, her, it, us, them, hers, yours, mine, ours, his, hers, theirs, myself, herself, himself, oneself, yourself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves, whose, what, who, which, this, that, these, those, who, whom, whose, that, which, you, one, they, anyone, somebody, someone, anybody, everybody, everyone, nobody, no one, something, anything, everything, nothing. If you really want to be an expert on these things, you'll learn these names. I myself, if you have to ask me what's a reflexive pronoun, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But hopefully I'll be able to identify myself as a pronoun. I remember these relative pronouns from the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven. I somehow remember those are relative pronouns. But I hope that gives you an idea of the sort of words that are pronouns. Let's see if we can identify the pronouns here. My, that's easy enough, is a pronoun. Our, that's easy enough. I and myself. There's a couple in this sentence, and then I, and then you. My sister, and of course her, in her flat, and then he. All of these are pronouns. Choose the correct pronoun. So forget about you and just work out, will he swim the race or will him swim the race? He will swim the race, so therefore you and he will swim the race. Mrs. Stokes is a better dancer than I am or than me am. Than I am, so therefore she's a better dancer than I. These are tricky. Your way of doing this, you work out who's going to go to Italy. Try and fit into the sentence he or him. Will he go to Italy or will him go to Italy? He will go to Italy, so he becomes who, him becomes whom. So she's the one who will go to Italy. This money is for he or him. This money is for him, therefore it's going to be whom. Did we see he at the dance or did we see him at the dance? We saw him at the dance, therefore we saw Linda and him at the dance. Who studied the case? Was it she or her? She studied the case, so therefore she and the writer studied the case. And then who came to the fair? Did she come or did her come? She came, therefore Shannon and she. I would feel somehow it would sound better if we said she and Shannon. I don't know why, but it sounds better to me. She and Shannon came to the fair. Choose the correct pronoun. Who started the trend? He did. So therefore, it was he who started the trend. Knock, knock. Who's there? It is I who is knocking at the door. Let me volunteer or let I volunteer. Let me volunteer. Therefore, let you and me volunteer. Does he tell the jokes to I or to me? He tells them to me, so therefore, he keeps telling stupid jokes to me. I will travel or me will travel. I will travel, so therefore Joey and I will travel together. Joey and I. Who was at the concert? I was at the concert, therefore Elton, Robert, and I were at the concert. Let I stay at home. Nope. Let me stay at home. Therefore, let you and me stay at home. Did I bring the soup or did me bring the soup? I brought the soup. It was I who brought the soup. Who is knocking on the door? It is I who is knocking at the door. Who bought the tickets, he or him? He bought the tickets. It was he who bought the tickets. So who's going to the party? Is me going to the party? No, I'm going to the party. Therefore, Frank and I are going to the party. And did Mom grumble at I? No, Mom grumbled at me for being late. More of choose the correct pronoun. Are the chocolates for I to eat? No, the chocolates are for me to eat. Therefore, the chocolates are for you and me to eat. All of them are older than me am or than I am. All of them are older than I am. Let you and I divide. Let me divide this cake or let I divide this cake? Let me divide this cake. Let you and me divide this cake between us. You are to blame, not I. I am not to blame, so therefore you are to blame, not I. And who called the police, I or me? I called the police. It was I who called the police. Who's knocking on the door? It is I who am knocking at the door. Insert pronouns. Mary lost glasses. They were her glasses. Who went to find food? 2 letters. We. The dog licked paw. That's its. Again, it's its without an apostrophe because it's possessive like his and hers. They painted their house. T-H-E-I-R, their house. And who put on his shirt? Could have been someone else putting his shirt on, but we assume he put on his own shirt. Keep pronouns consistent. One must be careful to paragraph your work. Now we're mixing up one and your, so let's keep them both the same and say one must be careful to paragraph one's work. If the student wants to take a break, they should be allowed to do so. Here's a student, and that's they. So old-fashioned way was he or she. But I'm going to simplify it. Sorry, ladies, you could just say she there if you like. Or you could say he or she. I'm just going to say he should be allowed to do so. I can't believe we're already on the vocabulary. Next tutorial is going to be a bumper one, so enjoy that this one was short. causing one to feel drained of energy or vitality. That's enervating. A hot bath at night is enervating. It takes away your energy and makes you hopefully a bit sleepy. Showing sincere and intense conviction. It's got to be earnest or serious. He's so earnest about his work. The omission from speech or writing of superfluous words or words. I don't see a word here of this one. Superfluous words or words. Oh, ellipsis. Just leaving words out. Relating to moral principles, of course, is ethical. A section of speech at the end of a book or play, the epilogue. There's a good one at the end of Romeo and Juliet, where it speaks about this gloomy peace now that the two lovers have died. Another page of E-words. To fill someone with great delight or charm, to enchant them. Giving off bubbles and fizzy. An effervescent drink is tasty in the summer, but also someone's personality could be bubbly or effervescent. Turn from liquid into vapor. Evaporate. The sun evaporates the water. And then an overwhelming feeling of great happiness or joyful excitement is ecstasy. She was quite ecstatic about the news of her forthcoming trip. Another page of these. I think there's at least another one following this. The action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from their work. You're exploiting them. So you're treating them unfairly to benefit from their work. Don't exploit me. A speech or piece of writing that praises someone or something highly, especially a tribute to someone who's just died. I think of this word as being a speech at a funeral. A eulogy. And to make such a speech is to eulogize. To irritate and frustrate someone intensely, to exasperate them. You are quite exasperating today. And fluent or persuasive in speaking and writing, he spoke so eloquently that we were all amazed. Eloquent. Another page. Deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. He liked all different kinds of music. His taste in music was eclectic. A feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction arising from a lack of occupation or excitement. I think of this word as meaning a mixture of boredom and laziness. And it looks like you might say ennui, but it's French, it's ennui. She was suffering from a feeling of ennui. To represent something as being larger, better, or worse than it really is, of course, is to exaggerate, with 2 G's and 1 R. And then if you get inspired by something, you've just discovered something, what do you shout out? Eureka! I have found it. I am inspired. That's Eureka. More E's. Very unusual or remarkable. Extraordinary. The customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group, of course, is etiquette. So even just please and thank you, and where to start with, which cutlery on the table, all part of etiquette. The ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Empathy. To feel what it's like to be in someone else's shoes. To make something more attractive by the addition of decorative details or features. He embellished his description with lots of adjectives. Two more pages of E-words. This one will come up in the next tutorial. A mild or indirect word or expression substituted for one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing, calling the toilet the little girl's room, saying she passed away instead of she died. These are euphemisms. Euphemism. A person who's excessively conceited or absorbed in themselves, a self-seeker, is an egotist. Maybe some people say egotist. I say egotist. Ecstatically happy is to be elated. You have to have feelings of elation is great happiness. Of a person famous and respected within a particular sphere, eminent. He was an eminent scientist. The eminent psychologist is coming to speak to us. Intrude on a person's territory, rights, personal, encroach. Even plants, I think, if they start growing onto your lawn, they're starting to encroach upon your garden space. Euphemism, let's not forget that one because it's in the next tutorial. And then I think this is the last page of these E-words. The surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal, or plant lives or operates. Obviously, the environment has that funny silent N, environment. A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. We had an egotist earlier, but this is your ego, feeling of your own importance. And then sometimes we get a metaphor, and we'll be speaking about metaphors in the next tutorial, but a metaphor that goes across a whole poem is an extended metaphor. It's not just one line, but several lines or the whole work, such as a poem, is a metaphor that's an extended metaphor. We spoke last time about sincerity in writing. Along the same line, individuality in writing. Reflect on the themes and values that resonate or vibrate inside you. Find your unique voice and purpose. Experiment. Try different writing styles and techniques. Make up interesting similes and metaphors. Explore different genres and formats to find what expresses you best. Engage with diverse perspectives. Read widely and engage with different voices to enrich your individuality and inspire new ideas. Recognize and embrace your individuality. Create authentic and impactful work that resonates with readers and fosters empathy and understanding across diverse experiences. Very lofty goals there, but I hope they inspire something. Some writing topics. We are often faced with separation from people and things that are important to us. Write about your experience of separating from someone or losing something or someone. Our basic sense of humanity is touched by ordinary, everyday things in profoundly intense ways. Write about a very ordinary incident that has made a big difference to your life. Number 3, using the first person narrative, that's an I. Write about an incident or incidents based on either jealousy or frustration or shyness. Number 4, loneliness is 2 things, being alone and wondering why you have to be alone. Or you could choose this picture just to remind you of these 4: separation from people or things, ordinary everyday things that made a big difference in your life. Using an I, tell about something that made you jealous or frustrated or shy, or loneliness, or this picture. To end the tutorial, as usual, a quick vocabulary quiz. To receive money or property from a person at death. To inherit. Awaiting decision or action, not yet decided or done. I think they want us to use pending. It's still pending. It's not decided yet. Deserving to be laughed at. I think they want us to say ridiculous. Astonishingly beautiful and pleasing. Do you think they want us to say marvelous? Could be something else. American, I think, spells it with only one L. So forgive me, Americans, for putting the two L's. Sleeplessness with an I. Insomnia. A roundabout way. I think they want us to say a detour. An unkind smile. A smirk. A platform for a public speaker. A rostrum. The general opinion about a person. The reputation. Describes one who is short and fat. This person is pudgy. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you'll join me for the next one, a bumper one, fabulously figurative feelings. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time for Tutorial F. Have a lovely day.